Helen O'Neill from the PMC Studio, and here I'm going to show you what's in the Super Starter Kit, which is a slightly more serious starter kit for if you decided you really want to get going with precious metal clay, you've seen it before and you're ready to get some tools and equipment and get stuck in. Okay, so what's in this kit? It contains 21 items and I'm now going to show you. So the most important thing is probably the instruction booklet. So there's an 8-page instruction booklet in this kit, and it starts off with things like what is precious metal clay and how does it work, what's in the kit, all the different items and what they're called, and a simple step-by-step project on your disc pendant here. So you should be able to make several, and in fact I'll show you in a minute, you've actually got 2 different designs, so you can actually make a range of different ones. So there it goes. You've got torch firing. This kit includes a torch and a block, how to fill it, how to use it. An alternative, you can also use your kiln if you already have one, and how to finish your necklace. A little bit about hallmarking and what other things you can do to expand your knowledge of precious metal clay. So apart from the instruction booklet, then here we've got a Workmat. So that's a plastic coated sheet that's got lots of practical information on it, but also gives you a grid to work on if you want to create your own designs. So there's the Teflon. The PMC doesn't stick to the Teflon, so that's great work surface, and it's also the place where you're going to leave your pendants to dry. The next thing is the Badger Balm. So the Badger Balm is the release agent for your hands, so it doesn't stop it sticking. And it's also the one that you're going to put onto your rubber texture mats. The next thing is a paintbrush. Paintbrush is always very handy to use, just with a cup of some tap water to smooth the edges, to take out any sort of hairline cracks that might appear. There is a clay shaping tool. This is a silicone tip tool that you can use to sort of mould and carve and sculpt with your PMC. Very importantly are the 2 spacers. Now these are 1.5mm thick spacers that you're going to use with your roller. Now if the roller does, the clay does stick to the roller, you can actually use a little bit of Badger Balm on that. So that's your spacer and rollers. You've got 2 different designs and they all vary, so they're all slightly different. So 2 little designs that you can actually use to stamp into your clay. The next thing that you can do then is we've got a little cutter, so you can actually cut a perfect circle. So if you want to make a disc pendant, that's fine. Obviously also you can just cut out your own shape, but this is a great way of using as much of the clay before it starts to dry out. To decorate, you get a little pair of tweezers, and there are 3 3mm gemstones that you can use to press into your clay. To hang it, you have a little straw to punch a hole that you can take out, so you can then hang your pendant. Of course, there is the clay, so you get 10 grams of clay, which is 9 grams of fired silver. Once you've made your pendant, you leave it to dry, and you have a little bit of sandpaper to sand it with. And then the next step is the firing. So you get a proper torch block. So it's actually a soldering block. It's not a kiln brick or anything like that. So it's absolutely safe to use on any surface and the heat won't penetrate. And it comes with a self-ignition butane gas torch, which is fully adjustable. And this is what it looks like. So it has a lock on it. It has the gas to turn it on and off, has the ignition button, and you can adjust the flame as well. So once you've fired your piece, you use your rubber block. I did say there was an awful lot in this kit. Use your rubber block and you give it a first polish using a stainless steel brush that gives it a matte finish, and then you continue using a burnisher to give it a high finish. And then you should have completed your pendants, and the last thing to do is to just attach the jump rings and hang it onto a piece of cord. So yes, there are an awful lot of items in this kit, but that should really get you up and going.